Hello and welcome to the third dev blog of mine. Within this session I am using the Blender workspace this time, a workspace I am much more familiar with than compared to Unreal. Within this one I'll be making a more spherical audio visualizer. Prior to this I've made the pixelated cloud, and I did that sort of mini experiment at the start in the first dev blog as well. But yes, this one will be a spherical one and just a change from the rest. So to start off with, I am building the sort of look I want through the shading menu. I started with a cube, I turned it into a circle, and then with that I added the cloud effect to it to sort of give it this distorted, bubbly effect that you see on the right side. And by using this bubbly sort of effect, when the audio visualizer comes into play, those more extruded areas will become even more pronounced as the effect tries to visualize the audio. So it's very beneficial adding this to the circle. By this point, I was running into some issues with this experiment. I was having some RAM issues since I noticed that my computer was really struggling at this point of the experiment. So I had to switch over to the Cycles rendering engine and then make it GPU compute. But then even still, I was having issues. So just to make sure, I allocated more RAM to the video sequencer, and in the settings as well, I set the rendering engine so that it would only use my graphics card, and this ended up making the rest of the process much easier. So with that issue sorted, I continued experimenting with the shaders. For this part I used a noise texture and I put it into a color ramp. By doing this, it enabled me to make a sort of camouflage type of effect, and it made certain areas of the sphere more opaque and certain areas more translucent. And with this, it made a sort of ethereal feel to it. So once some color is applied, it gives this sphere a really sort of chic look, especially when I set a rotation on the sphere as well. So now the shaders are in place and I am happy with the look of the effect. It's time to bring in the audio into Blender and make this a unified piece. So with Blender, I really enjoy and I really like the way that Blender uses audio and views audio and enables you to use it with much more precision than compared to Unreal Engine 5. So here I was just syncing up the audio so that the effect would match the audio within the sequencer. So as those two are separate within Blender, you have to have them matched up on the same exact frame for it to work nicely. With that done, I made some final tweaks to the orb. I ended up reducing the noise of the orb. This way it becomes a little bit more translucent and you can see through the sphere as well. By doing this, it gives me a lot of freedom when incorporating this effect into other pieces of work and when incorporating it with my other audio visualizers as well. Anytime I make one within Blender, I can whack this in front or behind the other item I create and have little issues. So this point marks the end of the third dev blog. Unfortunately, due to the way that Blender works and how its preview window works, I won't be able to show you the effect in this video. However, it can be found at the bottom or underneath this video. Again, I am really happy with how this effect turned out. Personally, I think it's much better than my prior two. However, I think that the pixelated cloud that I made in the last devlog, I think it did a better job at visualizing audio, but as a whole effect, I personally like this one a lot more. But yeah, this marks the end of my devlog, and thank you for watching.
I'm a junglist.